This is the shoulder protocol. If you have any instability in your shoulder or your scapula is not moving smoothly, this is a great exercise to do. So grab a dumbbell. I'm using a 5, but start with something less heavy because this is quite heavy for me as well. What you're gonna do is you have your palm facing down, your belly is on the floor, and then you're gonna lift this for 25 times, and then switch your palm facing upwards, and you're gonna lift that for 25 times, and then you're gonna move it to the side and lift it for 25 times. So you're basically working your external rotation from different angles, which is gonna be great for stabilizing your shoulder. And obviously the regression is not using the weight and doing the same movements. So you're gonna get back on the floor, you're gonna lift up, and then to the side. Start with 25 reps each without any rest in between, or do the prescribed numbers that is on the sheet. That is shoulder protocol. This is another great movement for your shoulder extension. We move a lot of times doing the shoulder flexion, but we don't train the shoulder extension too much. So this will be great to balance out the movements from our daily life. So we are gonna be in a tabletop position, so fingers pointing outwards, and then your feet, the further away, the harder it's gonna get, okay? So around here, and then you're gonna get into a tabletop position, and then you wanna rock forward so that your butt is almost touching the heel, back. So tabletop, rock forward, back. If this is too hard, what you can do is rock forward in a shorter range of motion, so you don't have to go all the way down. You'll feel a tremendous stretch in the front part of your deltoids. And again, this is active stretching, not just passive stretching that you might see people doing in the gym. This is with load, with balance, and it's gonna be great to stabilize your shoulder. That is shoulder extension. The next ankle mobility workout is the toe squat. So you want to assume a wide-ish squat position, and then you want to raise your heels up as much as possible, and then try to maintain balance. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit narrower, which is easier for me. And then you want to squat down slowly as you fight for that balance, and keeping that heel as high as possible off the ground, and come back up. And then again. So this is great for your ankle mobility, and then it really pushes you to keep that position and then the core tight, so that you're not gonna fall down. For most of you, that's gonna be hard. So if you can get a chair just as a support, an extra support for your balance, and then drive that toe up, and then support your weight and go down as much as you can and slow as possible. And if that's hard for you, what you can do is reset and elevate your heels, then go down, 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 and come back and reset. So that will make it easier for you. And then work on that range of motion for both your hip, but also mainly on your ankle. So that is the toe squat. Next, ankle rolls in a squat. So you're gonna get into a deep squat position. And what you wanna do is place your hands in front of you, and you are gonna raise your heel and then drive that knee forward and back. Raise your heel, drive that knee forward. And you're gonna feel that tremendous stretch on your big toe, and it is great for your ankle mobility. If this is too hard for you, what I want you to think about is putting more weight on your hands so you're supporting your body weight. So you're gonna lift it up, and then you're gonna support, support, support. As you can see, I'm leaning in more forward so that my body weight is supported mostly with my arm. And then you're gonna rock back. So do that for the prescribed number of reps. If you're putting most of the weight on your hand, don't worry. Just try to go through that movement of raising your heel as high as you can and bringing your knee in front of you. So that is the ankle roll in squat. This is the single leg balance. Most of the time, the small muscles around your ankle is neglected, and this is gonna really address it. Remember, a strong foundation at your ankle is gonna keep the knees, the hips, sometimes even the shoulders safe. The strong foundation is gonna protect us. So that being said, what we're gonna do is raise our knee up, and then we're gonna stand on one foot, and I can already feel the ankle moving and working hard to keep that balance for me. And what I'm gonna do, just to take it to the next level, close my eye. Oh, see, I lost balance already. I'll blame it on the wind. So you're gonna keep that balance. I can really feel it moving back and forth, side to side. And you really need to focus and use your toes as well to grab that floor to really keep yourself intact with one leg. And then you can obviously switch to one leg. If that's too hard, I'll do it on the other leg. You can open up your eye, keep that eye. This is gonna make it easier. And if this is too easy, look around so you can make it a little bit more challenging. So you're looking around. And then if that gets too easy, you wanna close your eye. Your eyes. Perfect. So those are the 3 progressions that you can use. Again, looks simple and straightforward, but great for your balance and for your ankle mobility and strength. Now we're moving into the knee mobility, and the first one is gonna be single leg squat to box, or a chair in this case. So what you wanna assume is get close to the box as much as you can, almost touching. And what you wanna do is squat down as slow as you can, and then come back up. So you don't wanna sit down completely. You wanna just kind of touch it, and then bounce back up. So it's just a cue of where the box is or the chair is, and then it's gonna help you go up. So obviously the higher the box or the chair, the easier it gets, and the lower, the harder it gets. If that's too hard, if your knee's not allowing you to do that, what you can do is just sit down with 2, come back. Sit down with 2, and come back. And what you wanna eventually progress to is sit down with 1 and come back with 2. Sit down with 1, come back with 2. So you're practicing the negative. So do that for the prescribed number of reps, and that is the single leg squat to box. All right, the next one is the knee drive. This is again one of my favorite ones as well, since we're putting the knee through a range of motion that we don't put them through in normal circumstances, basically. So we're gonna get into a squat position, and I'll give you the regression, obviously, if you can't squat this deep. But what we wanna do is drive that ankle upwards, and then drive that knee forward, and then lean back so you can get that full extension, and you will feel that toe stretching as well, and back. So drive that ankle forward, backwards, and then do that for a prescribed number of reps. But you will feel it in your knees here, because we're really at the end range of motion of the knee. And then, but as long as it doesn't hurt too much, that's what we want to do, so that we can train those ligaments and tendons and make them agile and strong at those end ranges of motion. If that's too much for your knee, the regression is keep your hand here so that you're kind of twisting it back and forth, so there's less pressure on your knee. And what you can also do is grab a chair and use this as a support. And what you want to do is, actually I'm going to turn it this way, and what you want to do is drive that knee forward this way. You can support that, and you're doing it with two legs. so it'll be easier for you. Drive that forward. Okay, it's almost like a sissy squat, but with that assist and the emphasis on driving that knee forward. So that is the knee drive. Okay, this is the side step up, all right? So you wanna get a chair inside the side of you, and then what you wanna do is step up with one leg, in this case, my right leg, and then find that balance. And then after, you wanna go down slow, 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 slow. Tap the knee or tap the toe, touch the ground and back up. So you wanna do that for the prescribed number of reps, but the key here is to make the descent as slow and controlled as possible. We're really working on that eccentric portion of the movement. And if that's too hard for you, find a lower chair or a box. In this case, it could be a dumbbell, and then you're doing a similar movement where you're not driving the heels in front of you, but just right below you. So back up, down, back up, down. So obviously work with whatever you have, but focus on the eccentric portion. If you have a TRX or a pole, you can really grab onto that, find the balance, and then grab onto the TRX, so you can do it. So meet at where your fitness level and the mobility level is at. So that is the side step up.